Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 258 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit and crochet, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, May the 17th, 2025, and it's a gorgeous day out there. A little bit of a breeze, it's hot. It's muggy. Wait, maybe it's not a beautiful day out there. Looks nice from inside. Anywho, not a fan of excessive heat. No, I'm not built for heat. Anywho, so if you're a new viewer here, thank you so much for coming by and checking out my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy it, find something useful or interesting or fun, stick around. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back week after week to see what kind of shenanigans I can't speak. To see what kind of shenanigans I've been up to and what I've accomplished in the past week since I saw you last. I'm so happy to have you here with me week after week. I appreciate all of you so much. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. It helps my little teeny tiny channel. It lets YouTube know that there's a few people interested in what I'm doing, which is helpful. So it's free. Just hit the subscribe button down in one of these corners. Someone told me a way to think of which way it was and I've forgotten. Absent-minded professor. Anywho, it's been a busy week. It's kind of been a lazy week too. I've had a few things on my plate that I was working on, non-craft wise work kind of stuff. Even though the semester is done, there's some things that I had to get working on this past week, and I'll be very busy with on Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday. I'll probably be able to talk more about this in a later episode, but for now I'm just going to leave it as is. So I have one finished object, except for the ends to be woven in. And I have progress on 2 of my whips. I seriously need to get my whips under control. Words are not working right. Hang on. Does more tea help? I don't know. Anywho, one finished object, progress made on 2. Well, tiny progress on 1. A decent amount of progress on the other. So my first thing I want to show you is my finished object, which is my little not scrappy. The other one's the scrappy one. The granny blankie. So it's just a lap size blanket, baby size blanket. I'm just I'm going through all of my stash, and I'm just finding all of my acrylic yarns and I'm using it up. I have a goal to work through a bunch of my stash this year. We'll see how it goes. I have been tempted to buy yarn recently. I haven't, but I've been tempted. But this one is done. Last time I saw you, I was partway through this blue section. I don't remember how far I was, how many rounds I had done on the blue, but I crocheted until I ran out of, well, I didn't run out of the blue yarn. I did run out before I could finish a complete round. So that's done. So on that same line, the little bit of blue that was left from the other granny, I added it on to the next one. And I almost made it all the way around. Not quite. Doesn't matter. It's scrappy. So that's the tiny bit of progress I did on this one. I added almost one more round onto this little blanket. And this one is a lot more scrappy. I've just been using the leftover yarns. I think one of them I think this part is from the first part of the other granny. But this one's, I'm making slow progress on this. It's getting hotter out. It's not as enjoyable working on a big warm project. So that might not see a lot of anything for the next while. We'll see. But it's likely not going to get a lot of attention in the next while when it's really warm. Unless I've got someplace where I can have a fan and air conditioning just pointing right at me. Then I'll work on it. But, or if we have a cool snap, which getting into the second half of May, we're not going to have many cold snaps now. So, and my progress on my 2 at a time sort of shorty socks. These are my Opal Mismatch socks. I know these drive some of you bonkers because it just, you don't like Mismatch. I kind of like Mismatch, but I was at the marker here when I saw you last week. So I've added a few inches, so it's not too bad. I mainly work on these when I'm traveling or I'm doing something. Been doing it a little, working on them a little bit when I've been watching TV in the evenings, but I'm making progress on those. I'm getting closer to the point where it's time to start doing the gusset increasing, and so that's coming up fairly soon. I think I've got, where am I at now? I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, about 44, 45 rounds done. I need about 50, I need 55 rounds in the main color for my foot size so that I can start the gusset increasing. I have big feet. I wear like a 10.5, 11. I have large feet. So that's coming along nicely. And I need to start doing something with some of my whips. I haven't had a chance this week, and I think I mentioned it last week that I wanted to do a little bit more on my Radvent cardigan. I haven't taken the time to hunt for the pattern. The pattern is printed out. It's got notes on what I've done so far. I don't know where I put the pattern. But then again, I haven't really looked that carefully. It's probably on my desk. And if you saw my desk, you'd understand why I'm scared to start looking for it. My desk looks like a bomb went off on it. It's just piled high with stuff. So I need to look for the pattern for that. And I've also been mulling over my mitered square cardigan that I started quite a while back, and my jelly roll cardigan. Now I've been kind of stalled on those because I'm making this up as I go. So I'm kind of stumped as to exactly what I'm doing with those projects right now and how I'm going to manage to get them to turn into a cardigan. I'm thinking with the mitered square one, what I really think I'm going to do is make one of those, I don't even know what they're called. You know those sweaters you can pick up, or those wrap kind of things that you can pick up all over the place, different stores and things, that are it's basically the back is a huge rectangle or almost a square, and then it just has the two front panels, and it's open under the arm on the side. So it's just like a kind of like a large blanket wrap almost. If those have a proper name that I'm drawing a complete blank on figuring out, let me know down below. But I'm thinking of doing up the mitered square one either as one of those or turn it into a poncho. But I'm kind of leaning, I don't know about the poncho because I don't want to be pulling it on and off over and, like I want it to be easier to get on and off as I heat up and cool down because my temperature fluctuates. They're not hot flashes, probably not, I don't know. But anyway, I want something that's easy to get on and off. So I'm kind of thinking that wrap style that's just like that, just like basically like a big rectangle with an opening down the front. It doesn't have any closures. I need to find a proper image of one of those with measurements on it and work from there. So I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do with my mitered square sweater. It's going to become a wrap. Not a blanket, but a wrap. And, or a, yeah, I guess it's a wrap. Anywho, so I want to get that figured out because I've got so much of that row 1 mini yarn that I need to get back to using. I haven't worked on either of those blankets for quite some time, and it's time. I need to get going on working on those. So, but the other flip side is that they're going to be big and warm and bulky. We'll figure something out. But those are ones that I really do want to get back onto that. Even if I add 1 square, I think it's Shauna is adding 1 square a day to her, from Shauna Stitches. I think she's adding 1 square a day to her mitered square blanket. Or she was for a while. I think she's still doing that. I think that would be a good way of doing it. Even if I just add 1 square a day, I'll eventually get it finished. But I need to get back onto those 3 cardigans because I've got too much. As you can see, when I get too many whips, I'm so tempted to start something new, but too many whips overwhelms me, and I just get like decision fatigue. I can't decide what to work on, and I just stick to the same couple little things. I also have those. My Sock Madness socks, the pair that knocked me out of the competition, those are, I still haven't worked on those. Maybe I'll get going on those later this week after Wednesday. So I've got too many things going on between now and Wednesday that I can't. I'll probably just keep plugging along on my Mismatch socks until Wednesday, just because that doesn't require much brain power. Everything else I have to. Anyway, I'm scattered today. I really am kind of scattered today, but it has been quite busy in the last while. So this afternoon we're heading out to a relatively nearby town. It's about an hour, 20-minute drive for us, where a couple we know, or mostly through my husband's work, but it's a couple we know. They sent us an invitation. It's their 50th wedding anniversary, and they're renewing their wedding vows this afternoon, and then they're having like a light supper afterwards. So we were invited to that, so we're going to that this afternoon. So that'll be fun. And then next weekend, next Saturday, I'll probably film early because we're going to another friend of ours from my husband's work. Every Memorial Day weekend they have a get together at their house on the Saturday of that weekend, and that's about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from here. There's another couple that we know that we always carpool with them. So the two men, hubby and the other guy, sit in the front, and one of the guys drives and they yak in the front, and me and the other wife sit in the back, and I sometimes knit and we yak all the way there and back. So it's fun with that because I don't have to drive, or neither of us have to drive, so we get a ride. And so that'll be fun. But I'll probably film that next Friday so that I can have it posted to go live earlier in the day, because that's from 1 till 4. So we'll be leaving here by 11 and not back till probably between 5 and 7. So I won't be home most of the day next Saturday also. So what else? This might be a short episode. Hubby's off at work for a while this morning. It's only 11:30 here. It's still quite early in the day, but we need to be gone for our friend's wedding thing, renewal, that's the word. We have to be leaving by about 2 because that starts at 4. and I don't want to take a chance that we're late. If there's any traffic problems or anything, I like to leave in lots of time. And what else? Yeah, just with the heat and school things and work things, I haven't accomplished as much this past week as I would have liked, but I've had other things that have been keeping me busy and occupied. So I think that's about it. Olive says hi, and I do want to one day make her a friend, make her a partner, but for now, she's my little friend. She'll just sit here, supervises what I'm doing. I need supervision, I really do. But I think that's about it. I was just kind of rambling now, looking around trying to figure out something else to tell you about. I got nothing. We went to check out some yard sales yesterday. We made the mistake of going to a yard. We got a late start because we just had a lazy morning, and then we went to a yard sale that a couple from church, they are moving from a big house to a smaller house in a retirement community. And so there was a community yard sale thing going around yesterday and today, and we went to their yard sale. That was a mistake because we got to yakking with, the hubby was outside supervising their stuff in the yard sale, and his missus was in the house. So he says, well, go on in and visit, go on in and say hi. So we went in and said hi, and then we sat and yacked for about an hour. So we missed the rest of the yard sales. So we got a late start, and then we just sat and yacked. We had a really nice visit, so that was good. This is the same family, or the same couple that, if you remember a couple years ago, at least a couple years ago now, that there was a woman from our church that just gave me a whole boatload of yarn. That's them. That's her. So we went to, we just spent a bunch of time visiting with her, which was really nice. She doesn't get out as much recently, so that was really nice. But we missed out on the rest of the yard sale stuff, but that's fine. That's fine. And what else is, I think that's all that we've done this past week other than my work things. So anyways, on that note, I think I'm gonna shut up because I'm just babbling and rambling and probably boring you to tears. I'm going to get the editing done on this, get it uploading and ready to go live shortly. And hubby's gonna bring home, he's at work now, he's gonna bring me home a bite to eat for lunch because I don't feel like cooking anything. And then we're gonna hit the trail and get going out to this wedding renewal thing. Alrighty, for real, I'm gonna shut up and let you go, and I will see you guys again next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.